Notts County Talk, it's another win at home, 2-0 against Torquay United, who were flying high this season. We've made it look easy, haven't we?
We did, yeah. It was probably the best performance. I said it in a few of the chats. I can't stop smiling. It was just such a good performance.
Let's get on with these player ratings then. So we'll start with Slocum. We gave him a 9 on Tuesday. What are you giving him now?
I'm going to give him a 7. You can't really give a player a rating for who's not had to do much. The only mistake I can say is when he took that goal kick down here and he kicked out for a throw-in.
Yeah, that was poor, wasn't it? Yeah. But yeah, 7 for Slocum, not much we can really say about him.
Not really, no. I want to get this one in straight away. We're going to go for Brindley.
9.5.
I'm going to give him a 9.5 as well. Not quite perfect, but pretty close, wasn't it?
That goal, we just spoke to Matt out there, and he said it's like it's curved because he's sat in the cop, he's sat right behind it.
Yeah, absolute banana.
The keeper's having no chance of that.
No, he's blinded by his defence as well, isn't he?
What a goal.
He's got loads of players in front of him, but you can't take anything away from Brindley. What a performance today. When you think he plays like that, and some of the performances put in prior to this game,
a lot of things that people saying it's too good.
If you can consistently play like that,
unreal. Move on to centre backs. Big Ben Turner wins everything. He's got more pace than you think. He uses his strength when he's in a race with people to ease him off. 8 for me.
9. Solid. Doesn't put a foot wrong. He's just solid, isn't he?
He is very, very good. And he was limping at the end of that game. He's a warrior, and he's one that in any situation you've got.
Yeah, that's the players you want, though, isn't it? Like in that respect,
he's a leader.
He's very similar to Jim O'Brien, I think, in that respect.
And it's good that when you've got like O'Brien out for 2 months, you can draw on
more players like that. Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Rawlinson, 9.
Yeah, clear off the line. That could have changed the game completely, couldn't it? So, for me, 9. It's got to be.
Yeah, I think he's gone unnoticed for a lot of the season, and I think he's been building up to this performance.
Yeah,
and it was so good.
He does go unnoticed, I think, in a lot of his performances, but we've said it before, I think sometimes that can be a good thing.
Yeah.
He just does his job, doesn't he?
Yeah. Standing ovation for the left back Bakayoko from everyone as he was walking round. Like that was a great performance from him as well. What you going?
Unbelievable squad performance today. I'm giving him a 9 as well. The back four gets a 9 from me because it was another clean sheet.
I agree with a 9.
Impeccable.
He's just the last few games he's really seemed to just grow, hasn't he, as a player? Like confidence is there. He's attacking. People aren't getting past him. He seems to have a burst of pace that when you've got Turner next to him, we've already said he's quicker than we think, but you have to make up for that, and he's a solid player.
You're sort of looking now and you think all being well, right back you've got Brindley and Kelly Evans, which is, I think that's a pretty fierce battle, but after today you think Brindley's sort of got the tip over him. And left back you've got McCrory, who can also play centre back if anything happens at the back centre, but you've got Bakayoko as well. And after the performance today and the performance that McCrory put in on, who was that against? Field. How do you pick between the two?
The defence. Well, we were saying, weren't we, literally 2 minutes before Bakayoko went off injured, how does McCrory get back in this team? And let's hope the Bakayoko injury is not.
Yeah.
It's not anything more than just a knock, but that defence is looking settled and strong.
Yeah, good.
Let's go into midfield. Start with Enzio.
He's done a few decent bits today, but same as we always sort of say, he just seems to have that lack of knowing what to do with the ball sometimes. His decision making isn't great.
There's a bit more confidence in his game.
Yeah, there was a little bit more confidence in him today. I'll give him a 7.
I'll give him a 6.5.
Yeah.
I think he's just got to make that bit more of an impression, even if it's a couple more shots, just something to frighten defenders a little bit more. He has the ability, we know, but 6.5 for me.
He has that bit more desire for me today as well. He was tracking back a little bit more than he usually does, and he put a few tackles in, which is nice to see.
Yeah. Favourite of yours, Doyle?
I'm going to give him an 8. He's played well today. I don't agree with him coming in for Booty. I think Rose should have been dropped for Booty. But Doyle, for me today, he's had a good performance. He's broke up play when he's needed to. Keeps it simple, and I just like that from him. He's just solid.
Yeah, I give it a 7.5. Not charging into challenges and losing his head when they were clearly trying to wind him up at the end of the first half. Yeah. It improved his game.
Yeah.
Because he was a lot more calm. His decision making was great. Energetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Decent performance.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Move on.
Rose. Now, for me, this is such a funny one because I look at Rose's performance, and we obviously, it's easy to depict a player's performance when you're sitting higher up the stands, which we do. Because when you're on their level, it's obviously harder to anticipate things where you can anticipate when you're looking from above.
Agreed.
But he just seems to lack that pass, the simple 10-yard passes. When you're sort of screaming, just pass it now, and he's holding on to it for too long.
It was better than it has been.
Yeah.
And Dagenham was better than it was before that. So it's gradually improving to the level we know he can get to. We should be saying Rose 8 every week.
Yeah,
I'm going to go 6.5 for Rose.
I'm going to go 6.
He was a lot better at retaining possession.
Yeah.
Where he's been receiving the ball and then losing it. This time he was losing the ball from passes.
Yeah.
It did seem a bit better from him.
Yeah, no, it did. It was a bit of a better performance, but it's still not the level we all know he can get to.
Sam Shields or Sean Shields? I always forget that one. Shields, yeah.
I'm going to give him an 8.5 today.
I'm going to say first half an hour, 9.5.
Yeah.
He had the defender in absolute knots. The fullback didn't know if he was going left, right, and I didn't know he had the ability with both feet like that. Some of the crossing with his left and then cutting back to his right, solid.
Yeah, he was unbelievable today for me.
He's drifted out at the end.
Yeah.
But whole performance, what did you give him, sorry?
Did I give him a 9, did I? I give him a 9 now anyway.
8.
8?
8. Because I wouldn't have minded seeing Osborne, and it was dead set between him and Osborne for me. But I think that's put him now ahead of Osborne in my mind.
Yeah, it's another position where you're sort of thinking, I wouldn't like to be Ardley, isn't it? When you're choosing players.
Move on. Wotton, I want to get this out. He's too good for this league.
He is.
Like, it started off as he's a really good player. Now he's consistently a good player. Now for me, he's done it that consistently. I don't want to touch wood. I don't want to jinx this, but he is week in, week out one of our best players.
Yeah, we were talking about him and Thomas having a good partnership, but you look at him and Dennis today, the way they played off each other, it just sort of makes you think we've said it. It's just Wotton makes the other striker look so good with the way he holds up the ball.
I think he could play with. I think if we saw him with Tyson, I think they'll be just as good partnership.
Exactly. Yeah. Not that Tyson's any worse a player. I rate Tyson. I don't think he's a good player, but I agree. I think pair him with anyone is going to do well.
So what are you going to give him?
I'm going to give him an 8.5.
I'm going to give him a 9.
Yeah.
I think, like we said it on the player ratings from Tuesday. He'll have his shirt ripped off and he'll still take that ball down.
He never complains.
No,
never.
He doesn't.
It's so good, I think, from a player.
And he gets nothing because this ref today was poor.
Yeah, he was given fouls against him when he was heading the ball.
That header,
unbelievable.
Fans going mad around us, but that header was a 50-50 to be won, and he's just a taller player.
Exactly.
Poor. Finally, Dennis got his goal.
Was it a goal? Was it his goal?
I'm sure it was his
From
goal.
where I'm sat, I don't know.
I'm
it's
sure.
hard to
We
tell.
haven't checked yet, but I'm sure it was.
No.
He got a nick on that.
Because we were saying players were running to Shields, and then there's a couple of players running to Dennis. So I just don't know.
Well,
I think you've got to give it him because he said it over the tannoy.
I'm going to give him an 8.5. I think he looked lively.
Yeah.
What you say?
I'd agree.
Yeah, he looked lively. He's got a bit of extra pace in his step, I think. I think there was a lot of, can he do it in the starting lineup or is he better off the bench? I think he did it in the starting lineup today.
His fitness is unbelievable. I think when you compare it to the start of the season to now, it's come so far, I think.
And he could have had another. He caught the volley at the Cop end brilliantly, didn't he?
Yeah, and we were saying, if you see that that chance coming, you want it to fall to him if it's anyone on the pitch.
I think 9 times out of 10 he scores that as well.
Yeah.
Move on to subs. Who should we talk about first?
We'll go with Thomas. Not really had much of a seeing.
No.
Coming into the game where you're winning 2-0, we're probably dropping off a bit. So I'd give him a 6.
Yeah, I'd go 6. Kelly Evans?
I'm going to give him a 7 because he's just back to old ways. Flying into tackles, jumping up to try and get headers on players that are probably about a foot taller than him.
He's so lively and energetic.
Yeah.
It's good to know you got that off the bench.
And I think to have that off the bench, it is good.
And I think I'm looking forward. I think we'll see him against Belper.
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
I'm going to give him a 7.5. I thought he was great. His challenge was a bit rash and they were calling for a red. But 7.5. And finally, Booty. Didn't see really anything of him.
No, I think the attacking players, Booty he's more of an attacking midfielder, isn't he? He's not really had much of a chance to come on and do anything anyway, so you can't really give him anything higher than a 6 for me.
Yeah, I'd give him a 6. That wraps everyone up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
So if you'd like to leave in the comment section below the player ratings you'd like, we obviously read them all, don't we? We try and reply to as many comments as we can. And thank you for watching.